It is time for our KSAT Q&A, where we like to have people on and dig a little deeper into some of the major issues of the day. And on Tuesdays, usually we have San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. And we're glad that he is back with us on this Tuesday after a much-deserved day off, you know, with all the briefings and all the other stuff that you'd have going on. I'm glad you took a day off for yourself and your family. Right off the top, I want to talk about you're having new council members that'll be joining you on the dais coming up. Your thoughts on the makeup of the new council and what it means going forward for the city?
Well, you know, as is typical for the last every 2 years, we do have some new faces on the city council. So I'm excited to welcome the new elected representatives to the city council. We're doing that all this week. I think what people are going to find is that it's an incredibly diverse group of people with a lot of energy and that represent a lot of different ideas. In fact, I just got a chance to visit with Council-elect Castillo, and you know, a lot of great ideas, a lot of diversity of opinion, which ultimately is going to lead to, in my opinion, good policymaking. It always is true that when we have a marketplace of ideas, the best ideas come to the surface and are always in service of the public. So there's a lot of energy on this city council to move it forward, and I'm excited to get to work.
I want to ask you about the city's workforce recovery program, something that voters approved several months back. And going forward, we know in the next couple of weeks, that's when Governor Abbott has decided to opt out of the federal unemployment benefits coming to Texas. So let's talk about our recovery efforts here. How is that going with the city program that's supposed to be helping people who were laid off because of this pandemic?
It's going very well, Myra. And you know, I think we are going through an extended transition now as we go fully into our recovery efforts as a nation. And San Antonio, because of the work that we've been doing collaboratively as a community and because of voters who established the SA Ready to Work program that will begin in the fall, have the infrastructure in place for an equitable and robust recovery. Already in the Train for Jobs CARES Act portion of the workforce training program, we've had almost 6,000 people in various parts of the pipeline. A lot of them are opting for longer term training, whereby they are receiving a stipend to make ends meet, and they're ultimately gaining a credential to allow them to take an in-demand career that's available here in San Antonio right now. The vast majority of folks that are enrolled in training and who some of them are already in the job and some for quite a while already. The vast majority of those participants were previously living in poverty. The vast majority are also in areas where we see a lot of, you know, again, generational poverty. So we are reaching the folks that need this opportunity and thereby impacting positively their families, but also the entire community. So thousands of people have already been part of this program, and I'm grateful to voters who by almost 77% ensured that this program will have another 5 years of life as we move past the initial CARES Act recovery portion.
I want to talk about the police union contract negotiations coming up in a little bit, but when we're talking about workforce, it seems as if there are a lot of businesses that are having trouble finding workers, though, especially maybe in the food and hospitality industry. Is there anything that the city can do to try to make that connection happen between workers and the jobs that are out there?
Yes, absolutely. And part of the workforce training program is connecting people from intake, signing up for the program all the way through job placement. And the challenge for employers right now, though, is that we are in a transition period. And the thing that we can do as a community to ensure that people are there to be hired is to do what we have been doing, which is put an end to this pandemic. Our vaccination rates now are over 50%. We're continuing to ensure that vaccines get out to as many people as possible. And San Antonio Bexar County has done an amazing job of that comparative to the rest of the country and to our state. So we've got to continue to put an end to this pandemic from a health perspective so people come back to work safely. And ultimately, we're looking at where things start to feel a little bit like they did before in terms of economic activity, I really think is going to be dependent on schools safely opening in the fall. So as we get through the summer months, putting ourselves in a position for success, that ultimately we can see in full recovery mode by the time students go back to school in the fall. With regard to the CBA, we are in the midst of it now. It's very important that the new city council and our community stay engaged in that process, because we have a very clear set of objectives that we're trying to achieve, namely accountability and ensuring that our police chief has the ultimate hiring and firing authority for the department, and that the process by which discipline is measured in the department is done transparently and it sticks. So we have our negotiating position. We've been working with the San Antonio Police Officers Association before the pause. Now that they're back in session negotiating a contract, we've got to stay true to those objectives. And as I've said from the start, a contract agreement that falls short of those objectives, I am not going to support. So hopefully over the next few months, they can hammer out an agreement that meets those objectives.
Both parties back to negotiating now that the council, the runoff elections are now over. And as we covered yesterday, it seems that even though that time has passed, neither side is really budging at this point on those disciplinary procedures. So I'm glad you addressed where you stand on that if those do not improve as negotiations go forward. We'll continue to watch it and see what happens.
And Mr. Mayor, I have one more question for you that Myra and I discussed earlier. Is there going to be a 4th of July celebration in San Antonio, or is that by the wayside? I mean, I know we have an abridged Fiesta coming up.
There will be a 4th of July celebration in San Antonio. We have a 1.26% positivity rate. It's been below 3% for almost 3 months now. San Antonians have been working so very hard to protect themselves and their neighbors and loved ones and businesses. And we are in a position, if we're mindful again of proper precautions and common sense, we are in a position to have a great celebration of 4th of July and also a great fiesta as well. And we, if we can do that safely, it is something that we have deserved for a long time. So I look forward to being out there on 4th of July. I look forward to being part of Fiesta. We're going to do it in a little modified way, of course, but it's going to be one heck of a celebration that San Antonians have long deserved. And I thank each and every one of you for making that happen this year. Go have fun. You deserve it.
San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg, appreciate your time.
We wanted to end on an explosive question. We'll see you next time. We'll be right back.
All right.